Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
This is Eric Brotman, the host of Don't Retire, Graduate, the podcast that asks you what you want to be when you grow up so you can graduate into retirement with a purpose and a passion. Welcome to our Diary of a Financial Advisor segment, where we interview financial planners about their professional journeys and their passion for helping others succeed. Today, I'm pleased to welcome back a second-timer, Andrew Harrell. Andrew joined BFG in May of 2018 as an associate, became a lead advisor in 2023, and as of January 1st this year, became a shareholder in the firm. He graduated cum laude from Coastal Carolina University, earning a Bachelor of Business Administration degree in finance. In 2023, he was presented with an Outstanding Alumnus Award from CCU's Wall College of Business. And upon joining the firm, Andrew began pursuing certifications and designations to help him further establish relationships with clients and help them build meaningful lifestyles. In 2020, he earned his CRPC, the Chartered Retirement Planning Counselor designation, followed by his CFP, his Certified Financial Planner Practitioner designation. In 2021, I should also mention he's a local and a graduate of Calvert Hall College, the high school here in Baltimore that boasts my younger brother as an alum. Welcome back to the Diary of a Financial Advisor.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
So, Andrew, I before we get into serious conversation, I feel like I need to let everybody know that you have two nicknames in this office, two that I can share with the crowd. I mean, I'm sure there's a few others.
I'm glad it's only two that you're sharing.
It's only that two. One of them is Young Protege.
Yep.
This man has been called Young Protege mostly since he arrived right out of college because the office decided he was mini me, which is terrifying because he's 6'5".
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse, Young Protege. And now they just call him EJ for Eric Jr.
For better or for worse again.
Again, so it's good to have my kid brother here. That's another Calvert Hall kid brother. I like that. So, Andrew, let's talk a little bit about the Financial Planning Association, because you recently were named to the board of the Financial Planning Association of Maryland. I'm a past chair of that board. It was 20 plus years ago. Our president, Lena Nebel, was a past chair of that board. So no pressure at all, but you're going to need to eventually run the whole state association. What's that been like for you, and why did you get excited to get involved?
I'm a few months in at this point. It is a 3-year term that I accepted, and I met people who got me involved and integrated in the association through a leadership program that I did. It's been fulfilling so far. I am a chair of the NextGen committee there. We are integrating happy hours and networking events across the state and getting more people involved. Particularly our next one's around Wi-Fi or women in finance. We're trying to do a joint event together. But it's been a wonderful thing to meet other people and really give back and integrate ourselves in the community in a different way that I have in the past few years.
You know, it's funny. I know a lot of financial advisors who think other financial advisors are the competition and they're to be stayed away from. I know financial advisors who will not connect on LinkedIn with other financial advisors because they feel threatened by it. And yet you're part of an association, and we've been members of this association for many years, that brings financial advisors together. What do you think the benefit of networking with other advisors outside of our ecosystem? What is the benefit of doing that, and why would anyone be afraid of that?
I think the benefit is seeing a bunch of different perspectives, seeing how people handle conversations or different situations, because no one's situation is exactly the same. Not only learning about how people are going about things, but how they're integrating themselves in the community and what they're doing good for not only themselves, but for others. I don't see other planners or advisors as competition. You actually should be working together because you're all out there supporting clients in the communities and trying to impact people's lives. Not everyone does it the same way, but instead of treating things as competition, it should be more so collaborative.
So the Financial Planning Association of Maryland also has a legislative arm, and not just for the state, but for the country. And right now, there's a lot of pressure on state governments to close budgets. There's a lot of pressure on potentially taxes on services. There have been conversations at the federal level about ending the subcontractor status for financial advisors. There's a lot of regulatory pressure right now coming. And the FPA is one of those organizations, and we're members of several designed to sort of protect us from some of that potential regulatory overreach. How has your involvement with the FPA opened your eyes to some of that, if at all? And what do you feel like other financial advisors either need to know or need to do as a result of some of these threats?
We actually had a board meeting last week actually that talked particularly about one issue that's going on for some of the business around the state of Maryland, and everyone kind of felt the same way about it. They wanted to make sure that message got out there and that people put their opinions in, because it did matter. It did affect a lot of people, and we made sure that the message was loud and clear as far as we spread that message and get people to participate and to share their story about it. And it's a way to not only get feedback, but also impact people and the lives that they're living every day, and trying to help people, whether it's business to business or business to consumer or any of the services that are provided. It allows everyone to kind of come together and see different perspectives and really put their opinion out there.
What would you say to financial advisors or firms who are not members of the FPA or similar organizations?
If they're not members, I think they should be. It's been a wonderful thing to participate in, whether they're a member or more so active on a committee or join the board eventually to some degree. I do think it helps not only network, but participates in some of the things outside of the walls that you go and participate in every day with the same 20 or 30 or 40 people. It allows you to make a difference in a different light, not just serving the clients that come to your place of business, but potentially others in the community as well.
Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about financial wellness, because in 2019, as you know, BFG created a corporate financial wellness program in conjunction with KCI, a local, national, but a locally based engineering firm. And this was right after you joined the company. So this was brand new to us as it was brand new to you. You had been with us some 6 months or so. How has that program impacted you as an advisor, and how do you see it impacting the participants who are part of that, who are the employees of the groups?
Yeah, I got to tell you, most people, when they think of financial advisors, that financial advisors have a minimum and they won't talk to people with certain thresholds of assets. This isn't anything like that. This is truly a benefit that KCI, as the company itself, is offering and paying for as a benefit to their employees. And that can go anywhere from entry level to senior management. We integrate ourselves to go in there and have consultations with their employees. Not that we're actively allocating their 401k plans or being the advisors of the plan itself going in there, but we're actually sitting down with people roughly 8 a day per advisor, and we're sitting down and reviewing their benefit package with them. Because as you well know, Eric, over the years that you've seen, people get slid a giant handbook with a bunch of different options and a bunch of different things to choose from, and says, here, this is in effect January 1, and they don't even know what they're picking. So it allows us to go in there and really communicate that and have a conversation around what's particular to them and make them make more sound decisions.
So to be clear, the employee benefit piece and the qualified plan piece aren't things that we're involved with. We're more at the employee level, helping one-on-one, helping folks integrate and use those plans. But also, I think one of the ahas is that they have plenty of things outside of their company, either because of a spouse or significant other's company, or because of prior employers, or just because of personal assets. So how can you integrate that in a short period of time with somebody you've just met?
Sure. They will fill out a questionnaire if they're able to. And if they don't, then we will certainly walk through some of the questions that we typically have. More so, it is focused on helping them decide what benefits either are available to them or make sense for their situation. But when conversation happens like that, they'll say, oh, or my spouse has this job, or we're on her plan or his plan. My wife or husband has this retirement plan or this pension offered to him. Do you know anything about that? Or what about this life insurance piece? There's a bunch of different conversation pieces that come up, and we're able to navigate those conversations to a certain extent without having the information right in front of us. But people will be able to have a conversation around things that they may not have available to them before. And it's a way for us to at least, make someone's day in a short period of time, so to speak.
So you've talked a lot about the financial. Let's talk about the wellness.
Okay.
What is the outcome, or what do you think the takeaways are for folks who have participated? You know, we've done this for KCI was the pilot, but we've done this for other for-profit companies. We've done it for nonprofit entities. We're looking at doing this for municipalities or associations. I mean, there are lots of ways to impact as many lives as possible in a really positive way, but the financial is what it is. Mm-hmm. What does the wellness component of that mean, and how important is it?
Every company has their own benefit package, but the wellness part of it really is making you feel like no matter how much money you make or how much assets you have, that you're making sound decisions. The benefits, whether it's health or medical or confirming beneficiary designations, or do you have wills or insurance in place? And all those things are things that people don't want to worry about as much when they go home from work every day. And that's kind of where we come in to say, have you checked these boxes and kind of put peace of mind, because there's a lot on people's plates day in and day out. And I don't know about you, Eric, but I don't want to go home and talk about all the stuff of what happens to me and, you know, what's my wife going to do and that sort of stuff. So if there's something that we can help put peace of mind in, whether it is all of those aspects or just one of them in particular, we're here to help.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you talk about the cobbler's kid with no shoes. I mean, for financial advisors in general, we don't want to go home and talk about work, which means we don't want to go home and talk about finances either. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the reasons why every one of us, myself included, has a financial advisor within the firm, because we have to take off our planner hat, put on our spouse hat, basically, and have that conversation. I think it's really important to have a dispassionate set of eyes on everything we're doing. So we're almost out of time. And I asked you not that long ago what you wanted to be when you grew up. And I think we've already determined today that what you really want to do when you grow up is be me. And that's why they've called you EJ and Young Protege. Is that in fact a true statement? Have we uncovered this today, that you in fact want to be me when you grow up, or do you have another plan?
I would say not exactly like you, but somewhat like, if that's still a positive comment for you.
It's positive enough. What's next for you? What's next as we close the show?
What's next? Continue to develop my role here as an advisor, continue to elevate others around me and help contribute to the overall good of the company and help impact people as much as possible.
Thanks for coming back on the show. You're becoming a regular. You might wind up being a co-host someday. You never know.
Hey, we'll see.
EJ.
I could be.
Co-host.
We can make
EJ.
this our own show, really.
Very good. I'd like to thank all of you for listening and watching today. If you enjoy our show, please subscribe so we can continue to be a part of your journey to financial freedom. We'll be back next week with another engaging guest, and in 2 weeks with our next entry in Diary of a Financial Advisor, not with Andrew. We'll have a different guest next week, I think. For now, this is your host, Eric Brotman, reminding you, don't retire, graduate.
Securities offered through Kestra Investment Services, LLC. Kestra IS. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Kestra Advisory Services, LLC. Kestra AS. An affiliate of Kestra IS. Kestra IS or Kestra AS are not affiliated with Brotman Financial or any other entity discussed.